for our Airbus A320. Your crew are highly trained to help keep you safe, so make sure you listen to and follow their instructions.
G'day YPAD, a very good morning from Sydney Airport Terminal 2. Today I'm going to fly Jetstar A320 to Adelaide. My flight departs at 7, it's now 6 o'clock, so I've still got half an hour to check in and then go through security to the boarding gate. Unfortunately, no Qantas lounge access today with my Qantas Gold because Terminal 3, the lounge over there won't open until 8 o'clock. Their first flight is going to be at 9 to Adelaide as well, so no lounge, but we're going to get food and drinks later on board. I'm now at the Jetstar counters at Terminal 2. If you don't have a check-in baggage, you can simply check in with your phone and get your boarding pass on your phone. If you've got a check-in baggage like myself, you can check in with those self-check-in kiosks. There are plenty throughout the terminal. You don't have to wait for the person in front of you. You then print your boarding pass and your bag tag. Then you would line up here and drop your bag. While you wait, you can stick your bag tag onto your suitcase. If you don't know how to do that, the staff at the counter would be more than happy to help. I fly quite a lot, but I still need help to have that bag tag stick onto the suitcase, which is a bit embarrassing. So I just went through security. It was really quick. There weren't many people flying today. So I've got the food court just behind me. I think about half of the restaurants and cafes are back up and running. Not too sure about the retail shops here. Most of them seem to be permanently shut. Unless you've prepaid for your meal on board, it's best that you grab a bite right now because you can't purchase any meal on board. Our aircraft to Adelaide today is on board this Jetstar A320. It has a special livery. It's painted orange for Jetstar's 10th year anniversary. I personally like calling it the flying carrot. And this carrot eats people. Anyway, the aircraft is 9 years old today, and it's Victor Hotel, Victor Golf Foxtrot.
Entry or required to undertake hotel quarantine, possibly at your own expenses. The latest travel advice can be accessed via the COVID Safe app. Take the opportunity to check.
Morning.
Good morning. To the left as well. Thank you.
Boarding is done strictly by group today and people do behave and follow that rule. Jetstar boarded this A320 from the middle and then from the front of the aircraft and also the rear of the aircraft. People sitting at the back have to board through the rear door.
Morning. Thank you.
My seat today is 7A. A window seat towards the front of the aircraft. This is a rather newly refurbished A320. The seat pitch or the leg room is about 29 inches. The seat width is about 18 inches. I'll now quickly go through the seat features. So you've got the seat pocket at the front where the literatures are, and then a tray table. You can move it back and forth, but you can't fold it. On the side, you've got a cheap plastic coat hook. Down here, you've got another seat pocket. There's nothing in there other than my boarding pass that I just put in there. My knee space is really adequate, and that's because of the absence of magazines and safety card in that seat pocket.
Adelaide. My name is Alex, I'll be your cabin manager on board today's service. On behalf of the entire team, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to you all. Today's flight is under the command of Captain Jeremy McPhail. Joining him in the flight deck is First Officer Toby Moisa. In the cabin today we have Belinda, Amanda and Catherine. It's our pleasure to welcome our Qantas co-chair, frequent flyers and Jetstar credit card holders travelling with us this morning. For a safe and comfortable journey, would you please ensure that all of your cabin baggage, including your laptop computers, are now stowed either well underneath the seat in front of you or into an overhead locker. Small handheld devices may remain on for the duration of the flight, however will need to be switched for flight safe mode once the final cabin door has been closed. Radio transmitters and devices without flight mode capability are not permitted. They must now be switched off in preparation for departure. We are just waiting on our last few customers to join us on board the aircraft. We should have you underway shortly. Flight time through to Adelaide this morning is just over 1 hour and 45 minutes. It sure is great to have you with us once again. Welcome on board. Safety features on this A320 aircraft. Please watch the nearest cabin crew member and listen carefully.
For our Airbus A320. Your crew are highly trained to help keep you safe, so make sure you listen to and follow their instructions. 2 at the front, 4 over the wing, and 2 at the back of the cabin.
So for the food and beverages service on board today, to minimise contact, they won't sell any food on board, so you can't purchase anything if you haven't prepaid. They have made this clear while you book your flight and also on your plane ticket. Jetstar also made it clear that you can bring your own food and drinks on board. When I purchased my ticket online, I did pick that bundle where I could get free baggage allowance and also food and drinks. For food, there was 1 banana bread and 1 other option. I forgot what that one was, I apologise for that. For drinks, it was coffee, tea or a bottle of water. I opted for the tea. The tea tasted really good, the banana bread was perfect. Now, although the legroom and knee space was okay for me, it's only 29 inches, so it isn't much indeed. Now I feel a little bit tight when the tray table is down, even though that I'm not moving my table towards me. Perfect. Now let's try dip it with my tea. Even better. Now listen really carefully. It's because of that I don't want to wake my neighbour up and do a lavatory tour. I'm now reading a book which the author Leslie Seymour gifted me when we met in Sydney. He's a fan of mine, he likes watching my YouTube videos. Now I'm reading his book, I think I'm a fan of Leslie now. The book is titled My Best Shot, A Life Through the Lens.
To go to set this stage.
flight will have to disembark here about 20 minutes ahead of the schedule at 8:20. Weather conditions in Adelaide, 10 degrees, clear skies, 17, light green breeze from the southwest. Certainly has been a pleasure having you on board. We look forward to seeing you on the next service. Thanks very much. Good morning.
Fish products are restricted from entry into state and territories throughout Australia. These items must be placed into the quarantine bins as you enter the terminal building. Quarantine detector dogs operate in some terminals. Thank you.
Open your window shade and stow your tray table. It's now time to switch off and stow all laptop computers and place your belongings back in the overhead lockers or well underneath the seat in front of you. Please take particular care when lowering your armrest and take a moment to check your nearest emergency exit. As a reminder, it is recommended that you keep your face mask on until you have entered the terminal building. In the interest of everyone's health and safety, please ensure that all masks, wipes and tissues, whether used or unused, are disposed of responsibly and placed inside the plywood Ziploc bag provided. Again, all plywood packs, masks and wipes must be taken with you as you exit the aircraft and disposed of in the bins inside the terminal building. For hygiene purposes, these masks will not be handed to the crew or left anywhere aboard the aircraft. This does include in the seat pockets.
We will soon be landing at Adelaide Airport, so I think now it's a good time to conclude this trip report right here, right now. So my Jetstar journey started at Terminal 2, Sydney Airport. Check-in was really quick and easy, security was quick, all thanks to the pandemic, not many people are flying. After the security, you can grab a quick bite before you step on board. Boarding was completed based on your seat number. It was great that many people did follow the rule. Also at the boarding gate, you can grab a free face mask and hand wipes. After boarding was completed, the cabin crew handed out more in case you wanted more or you forgot to grab one at the gate. Face covering is not mandatory, but it's strongly recommended. It's a completely full flight today. About half of the passengers on board wore a face mask. By the way, the face mask and the hand wipes are exactly the same and identical to the ones that are offered on Qantas. They are called the Fly Well Pack. It's great that face masks and wipes are free on Jetstar, a low-cost carrier, because I've flown on other full-service carriers where you have to pay to wear a face mask, and it's mandatory to wear one. Now for the cabin crew service on board today, they were fabulous. I particularly liked the lady who was wearing a face mask throughout the flight. During disembarkation, she led the passengers to the terminal at Adelaide Airport, and she said goodbye and thank you to everybody at Adelaide Airport boarding gate. Now some people might say that's something you would expect from a cabin crew, but in most cases, once the cabin crew are outside the aircraft, they don't bother to say goodbye or thank you. Also during the meal service, she was the person who served the passengers at the front. She addressed each customer by their first name, so in my case, Jaden, and I personally like that more than the traditional Mr. Wong, or worse, when I call Macca's delivery in Hong Kong, they always call me Mrs. or Miss Wong. I think it's really sweet to call people by their first name. For the seat comfort, the knee room was good, a little bit tight when you try to eat, and also I found that perhaps the seats were really cheap and they used light materials. It was more vulnerable to shaking, like the buzzing, the engine shaking. You don't really feel that when you step on board or during takeoff or landing, but you do feel that shakiness when you try to sleep. Also on today's Jetstar flight, I don't notice any crying baby on board, which was fabulous, but there were a lot of snoring and farting adults. For your information, I paid $59 for this one-way flight from Sydney to Adelaide, which was a great deal. On top of that, I paid $40 for the Starter Plus bundle, which included free seat selection, 20 kg of baggage allowance, and also food and drinks. Now, thank you so much for watching this trip report. I really hope that you enjoyed watching. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so, otherwise you are missing so much. I upload a new trip report here every Thursday, 12 PM Hong Kong time. That's 3 in the afternoon in Sydney, 2:30 in Adelaide. Feel free to like, comment and share this video. Each and every of your action I just mentioned will help the growth of my channel. Thank you so much for watching once again, and I'll see you later in the Q&A at the end of the video. That's after landing and disembarking. See you there.
pleasure to welcome you to Adelaide. The local time is approaching 8:20 a.m. For your safety and the safety of those around you, please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened until we have arrived on the bay and the captain switches off the seatbelt sign. Please though do try and maintain appropriate distance between yourselves and other customers as you disembark the aircraft and throughout the terminal building. This morning we will disembark using both the forward and rear doors. For customers disembarking through the rear door, you will be accessing the tarmac via stairs. Please follow all directions given to you by the Jetstar team for a safe passage into the terminal and ensure you hold on to the handrails at all times. If your mobile phone is within arm's reach, you may now switch it off flight mode. However, it is important that you do not actively use it or take any photos if you are walking down the stairs or along the tarmac area. As always, smoking is strictly prohibited as you disembark and throughout all Australian airport terminals. Please double check that you have everything with you before leaving the aircraft and do take particular care when opening overhead lockers just in case any items have moved during the flight. Due to COVID-19, domestic travel restrictions are in place across Australia. It is your responsibility to ensure you are eligible to enter South Australia today. The latest travel advice can be accessed via the COVID Safe app. Should you have any questions regarding entry requirements, please see public health officials or police upon arrival. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the entire crew, it has been our pleasure having you on board today. We do hope you enjoy your time here in Adelaide. We wish you a safe onward journey. Thank you and good morning.
G'day YSSY, welcome back to Q&A. Sorry for the late upload today. I woke up late, that's why. So question one from Bryce on Instagram. How well prepared do you believe the airline industry was for the COVID pandemic? I think not at all. If they are, they won't need to fire tens of thousands of people unexpectedly. They won't need to retire all the 777, all the A380, all the A330, 747. Etc, etc. And second part of that question was, do you believe it's possible to prepare for a black swan event such as this? I think it is possible to prepare for a black swan event. So a black swan is something I think that's unexpected, like COVID, global financial crisis, 9/11, etc. It's possible definitely if they want to. So that's the question. Do airlines want to prepare for it? If they prepare for it, they might risk not earning the most that they could, so potential revenue goes down, that kind of thing. Third question, not a question. Say hello to Brazil. Hola. Hola, hola. Obrigado. Jose T. Jang asked, when will you visit Indonesia? As soon as the borders reopen. I really want to visit Bali and fly Garuda. Are you Vietnamese? If so, I'm eating pho right now, and I hate it when people don't pronounce it right. So guys, it's pho, not pho. And I'm not Vietnamese. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Boston. For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened and your cabin baggage stowed until the seatbelt sign has been turned off.